What starts as a night out with friends ends in tragedy that shocks an entire community.
Strongsville native Mackenzie Shirilla will be sentenced. The 19-year-old was found guilty last week of intentionally crashing her car, killing 2 people.
Newly released body cam video shows the devastating scene where Shirilla's boyfriend, Dominic Russo, and Davion Flanagan took their final breaths.
A young driver, barely old enough to legally drink, changes everything in the span of just a few seconds. The question isn't how it happened. The surveillance footage answered that. The question is why. And the answer, well, it's far more disturbing than anyone wanted to believe. This is the story of Mackenzie Shirilla, a story about obsession, control, and a choice that would cost 2 lives. Strongsville, Ohio, a suburb like many others. Middle-class neighborhoods, quiet streets, the kind of place where most people know their neighbors. This is where our story begins, with a girl born on August 2nd, 2004. Her parents gave her everything they could: a comfortable home, a stable family, opportunities most kids dream about. Growing up, Mackenzie seemed like the kid next door. Sweet, friendly, the kind of girl who parents would approve of. But something shifted when she hit her teenage years. Maybe it was social media. Maybe it was the attention. Maybe it was just that particular combination of youth and unchecked desire that can twist good things into something dangerous. By high school, Mackenzie had discovered TikTok. She wasn't just using it like everyone else. She was building an empire. Brands started sending her stuff. She got followers, thousands of them. And with all that attention came power. The kind that goes to your head when you're 17. In the halls of Strongsville High, Mackenzie had become somebody. She had her crew, over 100 girls who either wanted to be her or wanted to be like her. She'd dress like the mean girl from Mean Girls, and people actually believed it. She could have anything she wanted, do anything she wanted. And for the most part, nobody said no. But power like that corrupts. Her friends started noticing she was different than before. Meaner, more selfish, quick to turn on people if they didn't give her what she wanted. She started using drugs. Her parents were clueless. While they thought their daughter was at school being perfect, she was vandalizing buildings, getting high, doing things that should have been wake-up calls. And they missed it all. Then came the day she met Dominic Russo at Strongsville High. He was the guy everyone loved, not because he was popular in the Instagram sense. Dominic was different. He genuinely cared about people. He made you feel like you mattered. He was funny without being cruel, confident without being arrogant. People wanted to be around him. Dominic had plans, real ones. He wasn't just coasting through high school waiting for college. He wanted to serve his country. He wanted to be an entrepreneur. He played music, worked out, had big dreams about what life could be. At just 20 years old, he had already figured out something most people never do: that life is only worth living if you're doing it for something bigger than yourself. They met at school. When they started dating, it seemed like a match made in heaven. Perfect couple vibes. Their pictures on social media looked like something out of a romance movie. Their families got close. Both sets of parents thought this was it. Real love, the kind that lasts. But real relationships don't work the way Instagram stories make them out to. The cracks started showing pretty quickly. Mackenzie was controlling. She wanted to know where Dominic was at all times, who he was talking to. She'd go through his phone. If he talked to another girl, even for a completely innocent reason, she'd lose it. She was constantly demanding more attention, more proof that he loved her. Dominic felt like he couldn't breathe. His friends noticed he wasn't himself anymore. He'd gotten quiet, withdrawn. The light that used to be there was dimming. And after a while, you can only take that kind of treatment for so long. So he ended it. This is where things got really bad. Mackenzie couldn't accept it. She started showing up at his house, sometimes pleading with him to take her back, sometimes threatening him. One night, she was outside screaming. She told him he'd regret it if he didn't let her in. Dominic was genuinely scared. He recorded the whole thing with his phone shaking in his hand.
This is your last chance to open the door, or you are not coming out of this house all night, because I will not leave.
You really broke up with me earlier. Like, what are you trying to make? Like, why would I just let you in my house if you break up with me? You're threatening to break my shit. Like, you're threatening to key my car, threatening to break the doors.
I will key your car if you do not let me in the house.
You're gonna key my car if I don't let you.
If you don't let me in the house, yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know, so just let me in the house.
No, like, why can't you just be, like calm at least for a second, and I can feel comfortable
I am
letting you in
calm.
the house?
I am calm. I don't think you get to decide that with your fucking weird ass, like, trauma
problems.
She was erratic. 1 minute she'd be sobbing, telling him he was her whole world. The next minute she'd be threatening him. The swings were extreme and unpredictable. Dominic kept trying to be reasonable, trying to calm her down, but nothing worked. She wouldn't accept the breakup. She wanted what she wanted, and she'd do whatever it took to get it. Then she mentioned something that really got his attention. She said something about using her car, about driving it straight at him. Dominic took it seriously. He was scared enough to call his mom and ask her to come pick him up from Mackenzie's car. That's how uncomfortable he felt. But here's the thing about toxic relationships. They have a way of pulling you back in. After all that fighting and threats, they got back together. Mackenzie seemed different this time, calmer. Maybe she'd learned something. Maybe she understood what she'd done wrong. Dominic wanted to believe that. He wanted his girl back, the girl he'd originally fallen for. They made plans. There was a party coming up, a summer thing. They'd go together, get back to being the couple everyone thought they were. Dominic was actually looking forward to it. He felt like maybe they'd turned a corner. He had no idea what was coming. July 30th, 2022. Early morning hours. The party is in full swing. Music's loud, people are dancing. There's that charged energy you only get at these things. Mackenzie shows up with Dominic, and they're holding hands, smiling, looking like they worked everything out. Their friends are happy to see them together again. They're dancing, drinking, enjoying themselves. Then they run into Davion Flanagan. Davion's Dominic's best friend. Good guy. Real good guy. He grew up in foster care, but got adopted into a loving family. He's got this way about him. Everyone's his friend. He wants to be a barber, open his own shop someday. Simple dreams. But he's genuinely excited about his future. The three of them hang out the rest of the night, dancing, laughing, having a good time. Around 5 in the morning, they decide to head out. Davion asks Dominic if they can catch a ride since he's going the same direction. Dominic says yeah. They grab Mackenzie. She's the sober one, the one driving. This is the last decision that matters. Because in about 30 minutes, 2 of these 3 people will be dead. They get in Mackenzie's 2018 Toyota Camry. It's a regular car. Nothing special about it. Mackenzie drives. Dominic's in the passenger seat. Davion's in the back. At first, she's driving normally. Slow, steady, and careful. You can hear them laughing, talking. Everything seems fine. Then they hit Progress Drive. It's this industrial area, mostly warehouses, completely empty at 5 in the morning. One long stretch of road with nothing around. Nobody to see anything. Nobody to stop them. That's when everything changes. Mackenzie puts her foot down. Hard. The car surges forward. 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. The laughter stops. The casual chatter stops. In seconds, they're flying down this road at over 100 miles per hour. There's a brick building at the end of the road. A solid structure. Mackenzie's not trying to avoid it. She's not swerving around it. She's heading straight for it. Then, just before impact, she turns the wheel sharply, 142 degrees, and crashes directly into the side of the building. The impact is catastrophic. The front of the car collapses like it's made of paper. The frame twists. Metal tears. What was a car becomes twisted wreckage in literally seconds. The industrial area falls quiet again. No one around to see it. No one around to help. Just 3 people, broken and dying in the wreckage of what was a normal vehicle moments before. It takes almost 45 minutes for someone to drive by and notice. A passerby sees the destruction, calls 911 immediately.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building. I didn't go up to it because I was on my motorcycle. I didn't know if I'd get stuck, but they ran the curb. I can see they smashed the sign and hit the building. The car's crashed.
Can you tell someone was in it?
I didn't go up to it. I was on my motorcycle.
How long ago was this?
2 minutes. I live right on Westwood. I live right down the street.
Within minutes, police and fire trucks are racing to the scene. When the first officers arrive, they can barely believe what they're seeing. The car looks like it's been through an industrial accident, not a regular crash. The front end is completely crushed. The frame is twisted beyond recognition. There's debris everywhere. One officer calls it in over the radio in complete shock. It takes them a few minutes to assess the situation fully. There are 3 people in this car. 3 unconscious, non-breathing people. They're all trapped. The metal has twisted around them, pinning them in place. One of them, the driver, is still showing very faint signs of breathing. It's Mackenzie. Her small frame is wedged against the crushed steering wheel and dashboard. Her feet are actually still pressed on the pedals. Even unconscious, she hasn't let go. The other 2, Dominic and Davion, they're already gone. The paramedics know it immediately, but they don't say it right away. Mackenzie gets airlifted to Cleveland Clinic. She goes through multiple surgeries. Her injuries are severe, but she's going to survive. The first thing she does when she wakes up is break down. She tells the doctors it's her fault. She caused the crash. She caused her boyfriend's death. The detectives hear about this and immediately start seeing things differently. It's not just an accident anymore. It's potentially intentional. Then the toxicology reports come back. Mackenzie tested positive for THC. They found hallucinogenic mushrooms in the car and a digital scale. At first, investigators think maybe the drugs caused her to lose control. Maybe it was impaired driving that led to a terrible accident. But then they look at the evidence more carefully. The car's black box data is downloaded and analyzed. It tells a specific story. When Mackenzie turned onto Progress Drive, she pressed the accelerator pedal completely to the floor. Not gradually, all the way, and she kept it there for the entire short distance until impact. There's no evidence she ever touched the brakes. 0. Not once. The steering wheel was turned exactly 142 degrees just before impact. Not a wild, desperate swerve like someone trying to avoid something. A precise turn, controlled. Then they pulled the surveillance footage from the businesses around that industrial area. Multiple cameras caught the end of that drive. In one clip, taken earlier in the drive, Mackenzie is driving like a normal person. Careful, signaling for turns, looking like someone who's completely sober and in control of the vehicle. Then, the second clip, same drive, just seconds later. Suddenly, she's accelerating hard. The car shoots forward. You can see exactly when she decides to hit that building. And there's no hesitation, no braking, no last-second swerve to avoid it, just impact. The investigators look at the data again, the GPS history, and they find something disturbing. In the days before the crash, Mackenzie drove to that exact spot multiple times. She circled that area. She spent time there, alone, in an industrial zone that literally nobody goes to in the early morning hours. When police interview her friends and Dominic's friends, a picture emerges that's hard to ignore. Mackenzie had made specific threats about using her car as a weapon. She'd said she'd drive it at Dominic while he was inside his house. She'd threatened to cause him physical harm multiple times. 2 weeks before the crash, Dominic was in the car with her driving. She was going extremely fast, being reckless. He was so uncomfortable, so scared, that he called his mom to come pick him up. He told his mom he felt unsafe with Mackenzie driving. The detective in charge of the investigation starts asking himself questions that have dark answers. And the more he looks, the clearer the picture becomes. On November 4th, 2022, over 3 months after the crash, Mackenzie is arrested.
Mackenzie, step out for me. I'm Detective Hazoo. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions. Nobody's gonna bother you. Can I have your key, please?
Could you please be careful taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please?
You got it. You got it. No.
Thank you.
You got it. Okay, just keep your hands right here. I'm not gonna tighten these, okay? I don't want to hurt you. You good? Are they good? Thank you. All right. This cruiser right here.
Actually, he took her out of the car and we did not. Okay.
You have anything?
The charges are serious: aggravated murder, vehicular homicide, assault, drug possession, over 12 counts total. Because she was only 17 at the time of the crash, she initially goes to juvenile detention, but prosecutors push hard to try her as an adult. And then something happens that makes people even angrier. Instead of going quiet, instead of grieving privately, instead of respecting the families of the people who died, Mackenzie starts posting on social media. Within weeks, she's at a Halloween party. She dresses in a costume that's deliberately disturbing, half representing drugs, half representing death. She's smiling in the photos, posting them online, making light of the situation. She posts TikTok videos. In one, she literally says, "I'm just one of those girls who can do a lot of drugs and not die." The tone is almost bragging, like this whole thing is funny to her. When people call her out, when the families of Dominic and Davion are still planning funerals, she posts on Dominic's obituary page. The post is bizarre and tone-deaf. People are furious. They're saying she has no remorse, no humanity. Then there's a concert. She's still recovering, still in a wheelchair from her injuries. But she shows up at a concert acting like there's no tragedy, laughing, having fun, like her boyfriend and his best friend didn't just die in a crash she caused. And then there are the modeling pictures. She and her mother are looking for modeling opportunities, while the victim families are grieving. While the case is still being investigated, the public sees these posts and they're disgusted. The prosecution builds its case methodically. They have the black box data. They have the surveillance footage. They have the GPS history showing she scouted the location multiple times. They have witness testimony about her threats. They have her pattern of escalating violence and control in her relationship with Dominic. They also have something else: her complete lack of remorse. When one detective asks her what kind of punishment she might face, she casually says maybe a license suspension or something like that. She doesn't grasp the severity, or maybe she doesn't care. The defense argues it was a tragic accident. They say maybe the passengers grabbed the wheel. Maybe she tried to avoid something and reacted instinctively. Maybe it's all just a horrible misunderstanding. But the evidence is too overwhelming. The surveillance video shows a girl who goes from being a careful driver to someone who accelerates directly into a building. The transition is instant and deliberate. There's no gradual loss of control. There's no swerving to try to avoid impact. There's just intention.